We were the guinea pigs.
It's wonderful for fireproofing, fire retardant. The problem with asbestos is it kills you.
If you don't take that precautionary step, that's where you get into trouble.
There is no safe level of exposure to asbestos.
We didn't have a choice. Nobody told us.
This is your health. This is your family's health. You need to be careful.
I hope that some guy that's not driving a car very carefully hits me and kills me instantly so I don't have to suffer.
Hello, I'm Michael Russo. Asbestos is a fiber. It's natural. It's something you actually mine from the ground. It's been used pretty much forever. The ancient Greeks used it for cloth. Later, the Romans used asbestos in their building materials. They saw asbestos as a wonder fiber. They weren't alone. In the United States, asbestos started being used everywhere in the early 1900s. Its use peaked during World War II and on up into the 1970s.
It's got incredible tensile strength. It's wonderful for fireproofing, fire retardant.
It's strong, durable, lightweight, flexible, heat and chemical resistant. It's easy to mine, and it's relatively inexpensive.
So you have this wonderful natural fiber that has so many different uses, so many different ways to improve our lives. Trouble is, though, as scientists found out later, while it's improving your life, it may also be killing you.
The EPA says that there is no safe level of exposure to asbestos.
Asbestos, if left alone, is not a problem.
When the materials break down either by some kind of disturbance activity like construction or by natural deterioration, they can release small respirable airborne fibers, and these small fibers can penetrate deep into the lung and cause disease. The main diseases are asbestosis, which is a scarring of the air sacs in the lungs, and the development of cancer. And the development of cancer is greatly increased if it's associated with cigarette smoking.
There has been a series of attempts to ban asbestos through the years with limited success. But many U.S. manufacturers don't bother making products with it anymore because of liability concerns. Still, asbestos is used in products like brake pads or products made in many other countries. Many countries that export their products to the United States.
No, asbestos isn't banned. There's certain materials that aren't in use anymore, so you won't find things like acoustic ceilings put in roughly after 1978. But you can still find it in automotive products like brakes. Pretty common still to find in roofing materials like asphalt.
Okay, so where is it? If you live in an older home, chances are it's in your attic, linoleum floors, roof tiles, or anywhere there's insulation. Again, if left alone, it is usually okay. Disturb it, rip it up, tear it out to remodel, and you may have problems.
Most of the time, I think those result from people not doing the survey to begin with. They don't know what they're dealing with, and so by mistake they get into it and start disturbing the materials. That's where we see the biggest violations and the biggest health concerns.
This video will look at what homeowners and renters should do when it comes to asbestos. A quiet day in Rancho Bernardo. A few steps up the walkway, a realtor makes a house call. George Young is the realtor, spends a lot of time doing this.
You notice one of the things about this home right away, the high ceilings.
As in this demonstration, taking a potential client from living room to kitchen
What are some of your initial thoughts when you walk into this area?
to family room.
One of the things you notice right away is the fireplace.
And while the discussion usually goes from crown molding to creative financing,
The primary thing that I do is assist people in the process of buying and selling homes.
you might want to ask about something else. Asbestos. It doesn't happen that often.
I've never actually had a client specifically ask me about asbestos. A seller has to disclose to any potential buyer all known material facts about the property. But the important thing to remember is a seller may not be aware that asbestos is in the home. So in that case, then the seller would not disclose to the buyer about the asbestos.
Which would be an important factor in an older home. The age of the home is the key. This house was built in the early 1990s. It's probably all right.
However, if you've got a house that's built prior to the 80s, then you want to be careful. There are certain products that are likely to have asbestos, and in particular the popcorn ceilings, some of the flooring and the like. And what we would say is just be careful.
And being careful, not only when you're buying or renting, but say you're in the home already and you want to remodel. You want to tear out the kitchen, maybe change the bathroom. It pays to do it right.
If you are going to be removing materials, if you're going to be remodeling, getting rid of that old popcorn ceiling, it's very wise to have it checked out first. Call an asbestos consultant, ask to have a sample taken.
Asbestos is pretty easy to deal with. It's not that much of a danger as long as you know where it is and how to treat it. Not much of a danger just because you have it sitting inside your house. The trick is you got to know if you have it or not.
And that's where people like Kay Best come in.
Hi.
She's a certified asbestos consultant at a home in El Cajon, demonstrating what she does best.
We're walking into the kitchen, and I can see right now this floor is new. The floor has been redone. There's really no samples to collect here. The homeowner's done renovation already.
If you're looking to remodel and you know the home has been there a while, you need to make sure there's no asbestos. People like Kay can take a few minutes, walk around, check the floors, check the walls, open doors.
Okay, here we have a hall closet. This is where their furnace unit is. This has definite material that I want to sample. It's sprayed on acoustic ceiling material.
You need to scrape some off and get it tested. So Kay gets ready. Gloves, bags, respirator.
I'm going to go ahead and wet this area with water, just enough to get it damp. Once the sprayed on acoustic is damp, it actually comes off real easy. It's a very thin layer. So once it's damp, there's not going to be any fiber release. I can go ahead and scrape. What I want is about 2 tablespoons of material that I'm going to collect right here. So it's damp, it's not releasing any fibers. Now I'm going to fold this piece of paper and funnel it into this Ziploc bag. And there I have my sample.
And she'll go outside too. Things like old stucco can have it. Also old roofing material. How much does it cost? It depends on the job, but figure a couple $100s. Once collected, Kay takes it to a lab to get analyzed. And people like Janet Chase get paid to make the call as to whether it has asbestos.
I've got a nice group of fibers right now, so I have to check off certain optical properties. And if all these things align, it's asbestos. So there is no question whatsoever.
And in this case, it turns out asbestos is in that furnace closet. If the owner wants to remodel, it'll need to be removed by a professional. Something to think about if you're in the market for an older home. Homeowners and renters, contractors and construction workers all need to be careful with asbestos. It can kill you. And if you smoke, it becomes even more deadly, way more. Remember, asbestos is a hazardous material. That means there are rules for working around it and for throwing it away. You can't just put it out on the street on trash day. Undisturbed, it's fine. But if you think you may have it in your home or job site, have it tested by a licensed asbestos expert before you start work. For more information, just visit our website at sdasbestos.org or call the county's Air Pollution Control District at 858-586-2707. Best advice? Check before you wreck. I'm Michael Russo. Thank you for watching.